Chapter 17. I don't think I would have believed any of it, except for a small factory in a huge underground park and there are androids walking around. That is the fact that my whole life would become one incredible, unbelievable story, so who was I to laugh at his? So you all pass as humans? He nodded. Yes, we live as humans. We play the role of children, then grow older, then eventually our hologram is allowed to die and restart again. How long has this been going on, Cassie asked. Eric smiled warmly. I helped build the Great Pyramid. You designed pyramids? No, of course not. We never interfered in human affairs. I was a slave. I helped quarry the stone. It was a challenge that I was new at pretending to be human. I had to hide my real strength, of course. The Pound-Light homeworld has gravity 4 times stronger on Earth, so naturally we're designed for that, which means they're quite powerful by human standards. And you stay as a slave, Jake asked? You could have taken over Egypt. You could have taken over the world. No, we are not Yeerks, he said coolly. You see, when our careers made us, they hardwired us for non-violence. We are not capable of harming another living being. No chi has ever taken a life. Just then I noticed a group of 4 chi walking tourists, and Eric saw them too. You know, I knew his face was just a hologram. Seeing to me, he was annoyed. What have you done? One of the chi demanded. What have you done, you fool? The 4 chi came and glared at us with robot eyes. Humans and Andalites. Here, what have you told them? Everything, Eric said defiantly. They're the ones, the humans that sound like resisting the Yeerks. They're the ones who can morph. His voice rose. They're the ones fighting the battle we should be fighting. We are Chi. We do not fight, one of the androids said. Turning his hologram projector, a human body appeared, one of an old woman, maybe 80 years old. I am Chi Lonos. My human name is now Maria. I did not mean to seem angry toward you humans, or you, my Andalite friend, might dispute with this Chi called Eric and some of his friends. We stood by helplessly as the Howlers annihilated our creators, Eric said to Maria. We can't stand by helplessly and watch this world be destroyed too. Dogs and humans are intertwined, and they've evolved a dependency. Dogs cannot survive without humans. If the humans follow the Earth's we, the last great masterpiece of the Pollinites, and the dogs, their spirit homes, will all die too. I gave Jake a look. That's why they want to help humans, to save dogs? Jake shook his head slightly in amusement. We do not fight, Maria said heatedly. We do not kill. You know that, Eric. Yet you bring these outsiders here. You blurt the secrets they kept for thousands of years. Why? What good can come of it? We cannot fight to save the humans. That's where you're wrong. We can fight. While you and others merely hope everything will work out, my friends have infiltrated organizations on Earth. The Earths even think I am one of them. Maria and the unhologram Chi just stared. They've been busy. They control a computer company called Matcom. Took me a couple seconds to remember that name. Eric went on. The Earths are working on a master computer to trade and rewire all software into computers on Earth. When they have achieved sufficient force among humans, they'll launch this computer bomb and a flash control all computers. What does this have to do with us? Maria asked. The heart of the system, the crystal they've obtained from a dying traitor. They didn't know what he had, but the Earths did. It was a processor more sophisticated than anything even the Analytes could create, and it's more than 50,000 Earth years old. A Palmalite crystal, Maria gasped. Yes, a Palmalite crystal. And if we had it, we could rewrite our systems, do you understand? We could erase the prohibition against violence. We could be free to fight. A Palmalite crystal, she whispered. You can't do this, Eric, you can't. But he just turned away. If we can get the crystal, there's very little we can't do. Our strength joining these Animorphs, the Earths have shoved double their forces just to contain us. How did you convince the Yeerks you were one of them? Axe asked him. He turned off his hologram hand machine again, when the front of his head split open. Inside its steel and ivory head was a chamber just a few inches in diameter, and inside the chamber was a gray slug, helpless and unable to escape. Tiny wires no thicker than hairs wrapped around it. A Yeerk, Axe hissed. Yes, the Yeerks believe I am human. I have accepted infestation, but of course the Yeerk cannot make a controller of me. I made a place for him instead. He sees nothing and knows nothing. I have tapped his memory, not the other way around. And now I can pass on to Yeerks like I am one of them. Huh, a reverse controller, that's neat. I had 2 reactions. One was sick as the thought of the Yeerk trapped in a steel cage. As much as I hated them, this seemed harsh. The other reaction is much stronger. We have an ally, a powerful ally. An android could pass the controller could enter Yeerk society. An android with many powers of his own. How do you keep that Yeerk alive without Cadrona rays? Cassie asked. See, every 3 days, the Yeerk has to return to the pool and absorb rays. Without that, they die. I want to use them to get internal power to generate rays to keep this Yeerk alive, Eric explained. When I go to the Yeerk club, I will train the Yeerks to believe in my Yeerk is swimming in the pool. I generate a hologram of a Yeerk believing my ear and dropping in the pool. Later, create a hologram of it returning. They never notice they don't encounter this Yeerk actually in the pool because they communicate very little in their natural states. How do we fit in all this, Jake asked. I mean, what do you want with us, Eric? He resumed his human appearance and stepped toward us, eager, excited. We could fight together against the Yeerks. We could be allies. But we need that crystal. The Yeerks create a maze of defenses like nothing you can imagine. The crystals in the room at the heart of the Matcom building, they're harbinger everywhere. Elite warriors, the best. And the crystal itself is guarded by an ingenious system, concealed in a room of absolute darkness. Complete darkness. The slightest, faintest light, ultraviolet, infrared, any would set off alarms. and within the darkness are wires that set up by a slightest touch. So to get to the crystal, you have to be able to find it without seeing it, and avoid the wires that are also invisible in the darkness. Like finding a needle in a haystack when you're blindfolded and can't touch a single piece of hay. The walls, ceiling are all pressure sensitive, so you can't touch those. It may be impossible, Eric said. How are you supposed to do that, I demand? How do you find something you can't see? It's not like it'll smell or call out to us. Cassie said. Excuse me, Jake said in surprise. It can be done, Cassie said. I mean, if we want to. Of course we want to. These guys are a psychopath, actually have a chance of winning. Of course we want to. The Animorphs and the Chi together, our morphing ability, and their strength and hollow tricks will kick your butt. No, Maria cried. You don't understand. Chi do not hurt. Chi do not kill. No Chi has ever taken a life. She got me and looked right in my eyes. While humans in your candlelights and heart betrayed a million other species on a million wars, warred and slaughtered and conquered, we remained at peace. Would you end all that? Would you make us killers too? Yes, ma'am, I guess I would, I said a little coldly. We're gonna fight for our lives here. Our parents, our brothers and sisters, our friends are gonna be slaves of yours if we don't win. So I'll do whatever it takes. If you followed us thousands of years ago, the Polynites would still be alive, and you wouldn't be living with dogs in a big underground kennel. Okay, that's a little mean, but he's not wrong. I didn't mention the sudden interest the sharing had in my father. I didn't want to make this personal. I think you just made it pretty personal, though. She let me go and Eric nodded. A big underground kennel, Eric said bitterly. Exactly. Yeah, see, that was a barb, alright. We'll get your crystal for you, Jake said. Tell us all I know of this Matcom, we'll get your crystal. He had the cheek on Maria. I'm sorry, but Marco's right. The Yerks have my brother. There's something I won't do to get him back. Chapter 18. We rode the fake basement back up, leaving the eerie golden world of dogs behind. So, do we have a deal, Eric asked? You help us get the Palmite crystal, then we'll file inside you to defeat the Yerks. Sounds good to me, I said quickly, unless anyone has any objections. Jake started to say. Listen, Cassie interrupted. Eric, let's talk it over. It's a big decision. I was surprised, not as surprised as Jake was, and I heard a noise coming from directly above us. The roaring of a bear. Oh man, so I knew that sound. We all did. Rachel, Cassie said under her breath. We've been under a long time, Jake said. Eric, I think our friend of ours may come to rescue us. He shrugged. I don't think it's going to be a problem. You don't know our friend. The basement is so back in one place and I tore up the stairway. Rachel, chill. I burst back into an utterly normal kitchen and reacted to an utterly normal living room. Raced through a normal living room. The front door of the house had been ripped off the hinges. The couch was thrown against one wall, and there in the middle of the room, standing so tall its head scraped the ceiling, was a full-grown grizzly bear. Rachel roared in rage and frustration. Frustration because, see, the Chi who passed Eric's father had her in a full Nelson. His human hologram arms were wrapped around unbelievably massive shoulders of grizzly and actually holding the bear still. He had pinned a grizzly so powerfully turned to a Toyota into an aluminum can. Okay, now I've seen everything, I said. Your Chi are very strong, I commented. That was the understatement of a lifetime. Where have you been, Rachel demanded. I waited for as long as I could. Figured you were dead or something. If you don't have a good explanation, you will be. Oh, we have a story, all right, Cassie said. She calmed down and stopped roaring when she saw us. Now she slowly released her and began to change it back. Jake looked and Bear started to pull the couch back down. Eric, this is our friend Rachel. It was smart you keep her reserve, Eric commented. Rachel said, I hope you weren't hurt. How can you wrestle a grizzly if you have to be nonviolent, asked Eric. Of course, my father knew when she was not a true bear, and he only held on to her. He did not destroy her. If she'd been strong to win, my father had no choice but allow himself to be destroyed. I laughed. I see why you want to change that. I expected her to agree, but he looked a little sad. Yes, he said. Just that one word. We started to leave. Let the others get a few steps ahead. I pulled Eric over. Hey, you were at my mom's funeral. I don't think I said thanks at the time. He looked away Bizlet. Marco, there's something to tell you. I think I already know. My mother isn't dead. She's a controller. Visitor 1. It was his turn to be impressed. You guys have learned a lot. I shrugged. Is that why you're at the funeral? Did you know? He nodded. I knew. I might have been able to save her if... It was too late to save her, I said, but payback's going to be very painful with those filthy slugs. On the way home, we told Rachel and Bison what happened. That took a while. We were back at Cassie's barn before we were done. I say do it, Rachel said. This Chi guy held on to me like I was a baby. They're strong. They have technology we don't. They've already penetrated sharing. They double our chances. End of story. Oh, not in the story, Rachel said, contradicting her friend. What right do we have to interfere and destroy 1,000 years of the peace they had? Didn't you hear Maria? No Chi had ever taken a life. You want them to be saying 1,000 years now no Chi had taken a life until we made them killers? I rounded her angry. What I don't want 1,000 years now is people be saying, too bad with the humans, Amp as dead as the Palmolites. Actually, I guess, you haven't said much. You've seen human more since we were in the barn. As you know, we Animorphs are not supposed to interfere in the lives of our species. I'm already breaking that law with you, and I'm probably breaking that law in this case, but the Chi... Chi, that makes a funny sound, doesn't it? Chi. He smiled as his mouth and grew serious again. They are a different species, older than Andalites. I feel badly helping another species become violence. Rachel said, look, no one likes violence, alright? But we didn't ask for this war. When the bad guys come to you and they start the violence, they leave you no choice. Fight or die. Fight or die, I agreed. And you want proof? Look at them. They didn't fight and they died. All gone. No more. Scratch our whole species. Now their essence, whatever, is stuck inside dogs and robots feed them extra kibble. Yippee. That worked out great for them, and that's even better off than we'd be if we lose to the Yerks. Law of the jungle, Rachel said. Eat or be eaten. Maybe to buy a sesame first time, but still, wouldn't it be nice if that wasn't the law? How can you take that answer? Demand you're a predator. You know how it is. Yeah, I know exactly how it is. I didn't mean I like it. Look, the Pollanites are wiped out maybe because they didn't fight. Maybe they'd lost you if they had fought. We'll never know. But the Chia lived for thousands of years. I know they're androids, but they're a species too. They survived our killing. Doesn't something about that make you jealous? Don't you wish you could say the same? Don't you wish Homo sapiens were facing universe to say, we don't kill, we don't enslave, we don't make war? I don't make the rules, I said. I didn't start the war. Humans didn't start this war. Look, I don't want to make this personal, but I know the name Matcom. My dad's involved some work with him. The other day, Tom, I shot a glance at Jake. His brother is on me to come to the sharing bring my father. They're targeting my dad, and now we know why. So for me, it's simple. We take this crystal, maybe my dad isn't involved anymore, and maybe the Yerks find someone else to infest. I didn't have an answer to that. I knew they wouldn't. Cassie walked down from the far barn, came over carrying a small cage. Total darkness. Can't touch walls, floors, ceiling. You have to travel through a room strung with sensitive wires you can't see. She opened the cage. Meet the animal that can do all that. It was no larger than a small rat with leathery rings folding back. Cool, I said. First was Spider-Man, now I get to be Batman. After 19. I thought for once we get a chance to practice that Batmorph. We were planning to go after Apollo and Crystal next weekend. Plenty of time to plan and prepare. Yeah, right. Marco, my dad yelled from the stairs in my room. We're desperately trying to figure out some math and work. Yeah, phone. X equals 0.03 now. I also wouldn't lose place. I went out to the hall and grabbed an upstairs phone. 0.039. Oh, who is it? Hi Marco, it's me, Eric. Oh, hi Eric, what's up? I hope you remember our phones could be bugged. Not what you said sound very convincingly human. I was just thinking though, you know that thing we're gonna do next weekend? Why don't we just do it tonight instead? I know what the thing was. I knew we wasn't calling on a whim. Something had gone wrong. I slowed my heart to jump to my throat. Okay, maybe I'll call Jake and see if he wants to do it too. That'd be excellent. Later, man. On the phone and thought seriously routine I hadn't got the call. I mean, I wanted to do this. It was important. It's life or death. But it's like something on Mission Impossible. By not planning or practice, it was beyond impossible. Plus, I had homework to do. I picked up the phone and called Jake. 4 hours later, all our parents asleep in their beds and met at Cassie's barn, including Axe. Eric arrived last. He didn't waste time with small talk. There's a problem. The Earth's putting a brand new security system on top of the existing ones. I don't think it's accurate yet, but I can't find out what it is. Fine, Jim. I said we can wait a few weeks to iron out the details. The crystal's already so detecting a new system may put it beyond our grasp for good. And don't forget, they're racing to use the crystal create computer system so powerful will take over every computer on Earth. They're not there yet, but the longer we wait... Oh man, this sucks. I said no planning, no prep, just going in hoping for the best. I'll tell you everything I know, Eric said. Listen carefully. It's not too complicated. For a few seconds we sort of teetered on the edge. We weren't sure what to do. He wanted us to go in, obviously, but he had his own interests might not be the same as ours. It was the worst possible situation. Anyone where parents could wake up and discover we're not home. That'd mean frantic phone calls back and forth. Call the cops, probably search teams in the woods. Go or don't go, Jake asked. Go, Rachel said, but less enthusiasm than usual. A lot less. Go, I said. Personally, I can't blame anyone who wants to sit this out. Cassie gave me a dirty look. I guess she took that personally. I say go. I don't sit anything out, Marco. I'm not in this, so I said. I'm used to on the mission, so I don't vote. I go where Prince Jake goes, Axe said. Don't call me Prince Jake so weirdly for the 1,000th time. Okay, we go. Rick Amelia and tell me something about Matcom and the security of the crystal. After 2 minutes, I was ready to change my vote, but it was too late. We'd made our decision as if we were being swept toward a waterfall, like a bunch of canoeists who'd lost their last paddle. We'd survive, or not, but one thing was for sure, we were definitely going over the edge. Chapter 20. Eric was not going to be with us, but he waiting outside Matcom when we came out. Assuming we did come out. We flew from Cassie's barn to the Matcom building. It was one of those boring-looking three-story glass and cement buildings you see in industrial parks everywhere. Just a bunch of blue grass rectangles with a big parking lot in the back. It looked so much like every boring square building in the park that we had trouble finding it. We flew around and lost hanging out for a good 15 minutes where Rachel spotted a sign. Laying on the roof of the building, Eric assured us there's no cameras or guards up there. Let's find that pipe, Jake whispered to our human again, or in Ice case, Andalite. Eric said southwest corner, right? I said northwest, Cassie said. She's not sure, so I decided to agree. Which way is northwest? Axe laughed and thought told Reza was serious. You cannot find directions. He sounded shocked. I just discovered we had hidden tail blades. It's that corner over there. The pipe's about 3 dimensions in diameter. I hope this works. I don't even know if my spider ant can make silk. Spider woman, Cassie said. You're a Spider-Morphous female. Wolf spiders don't make webs, they do make silk. It should work. Easy for you to say. I don't even know how to turn on the silk thing. But I started morphing into a spider, so I decided to hurry up. By the time I started spiders, the ears all become cockroaches. Man, you two are ugly at this scale, Rachel said. Geez, I don't ever need to see another spider my own size again. We're ugly. You know what you look like right now? You look like dinner, I said, laughing evilly. Juicy cockroach. Just morph is hungry and you look tasty. Marco, get a grip, Jake said patiently. Let's do this. I'll demorph and step in your ugly butt, Rachel growled. When I was standing on the gravel of the rooftop, the pipe looked like a round skyscraper. It extended above the roof by about a foot by a distance of half an inch high. I scampered around the pipe. One side had been splashed with tar. It'd be easy to grip. I raced easily up the pipe to stand precariously on a lip. I could feel a breeze blowing up from the blackness beneath me. It was like standing on the edge of a Grand Canyon. The pipe went down to all the 3 stories and an extra underground story. 4 floors. Bad enough when you're human, a million miles when you're a spider. Asking crawling up a tear alongside me. Okay, I said, now comes the fun part. I tried to search the spider brain looking for subtle secret signals that started spinning silk. Fortunately, the spider wasn't exactly Albert Einstein. Knew exactly 4 things, one of which was silk. It sort of pushed out a strand of gooey white filament and stuck the edge of the pipe. Axe did the same. Well, this is certainly disgusting. Ready, Axe? Yes. Then, yeehaw! I swung my lip of the pipe into the darkness. It was so totally Spider-Man. I fell down slowly, down, twisting, turning down the pipe. Behind me, a long white string grew. It braked to my fall, so I dropped in slow motion. My eyes not bad at seeing relative dark. I bet moonlight followed us down as we dropped. And this started being fun. I kicked away from the slowing cartwheel through the air. My web looped around Axe's so we made a weird silk rope. It was cool and wait till I felt a certain emptiness. Axe, I'm running out of web. Yes, me too. How far do you think we dropped? I don't know. You know which way's northwest, but you don't know how far we dropped. We still have 2 stories to go. I think your plan has a minor flaw, Axe, a usual understatement. But we're very light, small creatures. We should survive a fall, so should the heirs and cockroach morph. Okay, a thought just occurred to me. I never realized this before, but what they could have done was they had one of them lay out their silk, and then the other one just latches onto the line and then makes more silk so they have double the length. That could have worked, but here we are. Maybe. See, the problem is only one way to find out we survive. By dropping. Axe didn't say anything. Oh man. I got the strand web and I fell. Down through darkness toward a landing I only hoped wouldn't kill me. Chapter 21. It was a long drop. And then, whap. We hit something hard, bounced, and we hit again. Whack. You okay? Jake called down. Oh yeah, I'm great, but like a billion feet land, I was still trampling, couldn't be better. Sarcasm, Rachel commented coolly. He must be okay. Laugh now, Rachel. See, I want you to laugh when it's your turn. The plan was to max me create silk cable ears and the cockroach monkey would climb down. That way we wouldn't have to go also spider. Not that would have helped anyway. We're coming down, Jake said. Reaching into the silk will jump. You two survive, we will. Nothing kills a cockroach. Why don't you stand beneath me, Marco? Rachel suggested. You could break my fall. We scurried out of the way, using his lair after they all clambered down the end of our silk. Whap. 3 cockroaches laying nearby. Where are we, Jake asked. It's pretty dark. Who knows? It's a heating air conditioning vent, I guess. Eric's gonna be part of the furnace system. Suppose we go west 100 feet, then drop down, go across the furnace, then down to the right. Jeez, I already forgot all that. How do they remember all this? Then we're on the edge of the high security room where the real trouble starts. Then again, I guess they have to remember. I mean, if you're in these sort of situations, your memory's gonna get better real fast, I imagine. Excuse me, did someone say furnace, Cassie asked? Yeah, I said furnace. Does it occur to any of you that the furnace might actually come on? Not till right this minute. It's not very cold out, Rachel pointed out. Okay, I seriously changed my mind. I said, let's go home. Of course, no one listened. We scrambled on the steel floor, 2 spiders and 3 cockroaches. Our rough claws seemed to make horrible din in the middle, scruffling and scratching. But probably wouldn't sound like anything to a human. As we ran, there was more and more dust on the floor of the vent, but it was weird, like walking through dried leaves. My 8 legs kicked through it and swirled beneath me as I passed. Eventually, dust became as thick as a carpet, although in reality it's probably no more than a few millimeters thick. Every 10 feet or so there was a grilled opening. We had a massive red bars against the offices. The light in the house was very dim, like the glow of computer screensavers and red or green function lights. But it helped us find our way through the darkness of the vents. And then... What's that, Rachel yelled? She's the first back. Uh-oh, something's coming. I feel the vibration. It's something big. She took off. I took off. We all did. I could feel it too. Quick and confusing steps and a dragging sound, something being hauled. I ran to my left under a spider. Axe. Ahead of me 2 cockroaches not as big as I was. Rachel was just back on my right. I couldn't exactly turn and look over my shoulder because I didn't have one, and I had no head to turn. I just paused, but around a dim light if I saw it. Huge. 20 times my size. A vast, horrible menace. A rat, I yelled. It's a rat. The thing I heard dragging was its naked tail and furred abdomen. It was hungry and it was after us, and unfortunately it was faster than I was. Go, 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 it's gaining, I yelled. We blew it, tossed by our speed and cockroach speed. It seemed pretty fast for an inch long, but it didn't really that many miles per hour. The rat can do maybe 5 or 6 per hour. A spider's lucky to break 1. We have to morph back, Jake said. Not in here, Cassie said. Not enough room. Next vent, Jake said. We go out for the next vent. The next vent is about 10 feet away. I couldn't turn around and look at the rat, but every hair on my spider body told me it was just inches behind me. Yet there was something else that made my hair tingle too, so I'm at the breeze. I heard Jake yell, and supposed I could hear my spider legs are clawing air. It's like a Roadrunner cartoon. I zoomed out into space, soon to hang there, my little feet motoring away, and then I fell. Oh yes, I said calmly. Eric mentioned we had to go down again. He hit steel, and each impact sent dust clouds swirling. Keep running, Cassie cried. Unfortunately for once, it didn't argue. Boom! The rat dropped behind us, was still after us. Fortunately, a little stunned by the impact, or else we were just out of there. Luckily, suddenly a head of steel floor opened up again, but instead of dropped to darkness, a weird vast plain of jagged spires. Each one was steel, 3 times as tall as my spider body. Each of the spires of steel 3 times as tall as my little spider body. Each metal spire opened at the top. There were hundreds of them all arranged in perfect rows. A foul smell some my spire mind knew nothing about came from the field of spires. A weird flickering glow lit the landscape. An eerie light lit some awful graveyard with spires like industrial strength gravestones or something. It was creepy. What is that? What is that? I asked. Let's just get going, alright, Rachel Jefferson? We can sightsee another time. I would never have walked into that field if the rat hadn't been 2 feet behind and gaining again, but I didn't need spice sense to know it was danger. This place screamed danger. I stuck out one spire leg until I touched the top of the spire, then another. I walked from spire to spire, cautiously and carefully, and the cockroaches crawled and squirmed through the valleys beneath them. All of us stand normally, I dried themselves inch by inch. What is that? I asked again. You don't want to know, Jake said grimly. Let's just get out of here, okay? Right then it hit me, from the tone of his voice. This is the furnace, isn't it? These spires, the towels on the top of them, this is where the gas comes out. Not if no one turns on the heat, Rachel said grimly. Over my head now saw a source of that eerie glow. It was the pilot light. It was a jet of blue flame as long as my body. I could feel the heat of seeing far above my head like ceiling cathedral. The rat, smart we were, decided to stop, but there's no going back. We had to cross the furnace. We had to hope the Macron Corporation and energy conservation didn't waste heat. We had to pray no one messed with the thermostats. As the heat came on, gas! The gas blew at hurricane force to the top of the spires. In a second, the gas would rise as a pile of light. In seconds, the entire landscape would erupt in flames. I thought I was moving as fast as I could, but I was wrong. I had a whole extra speed. Ahead of me, I saw the others reach safety. Only Cassie and I were still deadly inches away from safety. Run, 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 run! Then, woof. The whole world seemed to explode around me. A wall of flame, a hurricane of hot air. I was blown head over heels, somersaulting through air as hot as an oven.